Hey everybody, Charlie Sexton here, Artistic Director at Commonwealth Theater Center. And it's been a while since we've had a chat like this, but I'm so excited to tell you that we have started rehearsal for our Shakespeare Festival, and these will be our first shows that we're going to be doing live. We're so excited for that. And it's the first time in over 40 years that we've performed our Shakespeare plays outside. And we're performing them outside to ensure the safety of the actors and the crew and the patrons. And we're going to be doing it right outside in our parking lot, right out here to my left. And our scenic designer, Jerry, has designed a wonderful stage that we're going to construct out in the parking lot. And we're going to create seating pods out here in the parking lot to accommodate up to 100 patrons safely to be able to watch our Shakespeare Festival. We've already started rehearsal, like I said, and the actors are back, and they're excited for this process to get us back doing live theater again in the month of May, as is traditional with the works of William Shakespeare. Now, this video is the first of many that you're going to be seeing over the course of the next several weeks as we document our progress through this Shakespeare Festival, culminating in opening night, which will be May 6th, with The Comedy of Errors. We're also doing two plays that got stopped short from the pandemic that we were in production with last year. We had just started rehearsal and we had to stop. That would be Much Ado About Nothing and Hamlet. And these are two plays that we have not done in a very long time, over a decade. And same with Comedy of Errors, a play that we've only done once in our history. So I'm so happy about that. So we can't wait to welcome you guys back. We'll welcome you back in a safe, secure way. And it'll be a great challenge for these actors to do these plays outside. Like I said, we haven't done in such a long time. Now, in just a second, I'm going to bring up the directors of these great plays, Jennifer Pennington and Jessica De La Rosa. We're going to chat with them about the process of getting these plays ready. So stick around for that. Hey, Charlie here, and we're back, and I'm here with two fantastic directors who are on the staff here at Commonwealth Theater Center. To my immediate right, Jessica De La Rosa, who's directing The Comedy of Errors, and next to her is Jennifer Pennington, who's directing Much Ado About Nothing. And yours truly is directing Hamlet, a play that like I told you before, I haven't done in 19 years. And this time, I decided I would set the play in the 20th century, as I often do, this time in the 1970s, in and around the era of Watergate and that turmoil that was happening to us politically, and putting that template on top of Hamlet and seeing how that works. And that was the concept last spring before we had to stop, and I didn't see any reason based on what's happened over the course of the year to change that. So that's what we're going to do with Hamlet. And let's talk to the directors and find out a little something about what they're doing with their concepts and how it's going to reflect in the design work. So Jessica, why don't we start with you? Tell us what you decided to do with Comedy of Errors, which Shakespeare's shortest play.
Sure, and one of his earliest plays, which is super exciting.
It's true.
I was really inspired by the idea once we had decided we were going to produce these outside. And so I thought, what is a way I can work with the environment rather than trying to fit something in that might not be as useful of a concept or something like that. And this play is set in a place called Ephesus. And Ephesus is known to be a place where almost anything can happen. They talk about witchcraft and magic, and they even say things like mermaids are in there. So wherever we set it needed to be a place of magic and outside. And I thought, well, why not set it in a music festival atmosphere, a la Woodstock and Bonnaroo. And so that's how we're going to go forward. We're going to do this at Ephesus, the Art and Music Festival. And I'm really excited about seeing how it's going to play outside. We're incorporating some music and different things in there. And of course, we're having all the fun with the bits.
So are you telling us today that there will be live music incorporated into this show?
I am telling you that. There will be live music incorporated, performed by some of our students, some original music written by our music director, John Beecraft, which I'm very excited about that.
Oh, yes.
So there'll be instruments and all kinds of things happening.
That sounds incredible. Well, let's go over to Jen Pennington to tell us about Much Ado About Nothing, one of Shakespeare's high romantic comedies, as we know. Such a great show and a play that we have done frequently, although we have not done it since 2004. So it's been a long time. Jen, why don't you tell us what you were thinking about this year's Much Ado?
I would love to, Charlie. Thank you. It is a wonderful romantic comedy, but it also deals with a lot of sort of rough topics. One of them being gender inequality and lies and deceit and all sorts of fun stuff. So what I was thinking was setting this play in about 1918, when there was another pandemic going on, but we're not going to lean too heavily into that because I think it's too soon. But during 1918 is right before the women got the vote in 1920. So I'm playing a little bit with the whole suffragette idea. There's a lot of fun to be had in that way, and the 1920s are a great time for music, and so there'll be some really fun music there. It's also I'm going to set it in a sort of made-up town of Messina, Georgia, which is very much like America, but it's a little bit different, you know. So there's a little bit of a Southern Belle thing going on there too.
Well, this is really interesting. So it's clear that we're going to make our way through the 20th century in parallel national crisis mode in two of these shows. 100 years ago, it's interesting to point out, we did go through another pandemic that lasted almost 2 years. During the Watergate era, we went through incredible cultural and political turmoil like we've recently gone through over the past several years. And we also now have a show that's going to celebrate music and coming back together again and celebration, which I feel like we're all poised to be doing. So it's an interesting pathway through these three plays as a reflection of what we've gone through and what we're about to experience in our lives as we pull ourselves out of this pandemic to brighter days. Don't forget, as the weeks go by, you're going to be able to see all of this in action because we're going to be releasing regular videos on this process all the way through opening night. So some of the stuff that we've spoken about, you'll get to see and you'll get to hear about through interviews with our designers and interviews with our wonderful actors as we go through this process. So please, stay posted with us and we will keep you posted with these further updates. We're so glad to be back, ready to present live theater in the beautiful springtime month of May, Shakespeare in our parking lot. I'm Charlie Sexton for Jessica De La Rosa and Jennifer Pennington. We will see you soon, and we will see you at the theater.